Southern Mississippi's Golden Eagles finished the regular season with a win over the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. We'll take a look at all the highlights. And the Golden Eagles are headed to the Conference USA Tournament in Frisco, Texas. We'll talk about what's coming up. All that today on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bancorp South. Just one game for the Golden Eagles this week, but it was a good one at Reed Green Coliseum as they took on their longtime rival, the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech, for the second time this year. And Doc, turned out to be a 72-64 win for the Golden Eagles, but boy, they're never easy, no matter what league you're in or what level you're in. Never easy to get a win, but the Golden Eagles kind of grinded one out and got one on Saturday night.
Well, there's no question about it. I mean, obviously the first half, defensively, we probably played about as well as we could play, and we made some shots and, you know, went down, at halftime up 23, but obviously you know that it's not going to end that way. And we start the second half and give them two back-to-back again, three-point plays, miss a layup. But Tyree Griffin made 2 or 3 plays there that kept us in the 20-point range, so we was able to get through that. But then they started driving the basketball, and then we started standing around, and we started trying to make plays at the end of the shot clock instead of just letting the offense flow. And they were getting to the basket, getting fouls, getting 3-point shots on layups, and we were running things to try to get our guys to attack the basket, because the one thing that we did have advantage of is our quickness, because they was a little bit bigger than we were, but we were taking too much time getting it into the front court, and so therefore, by the time we got into things, it was too late to get any good looks. But saying all that, we had some guys step up, make some big plays. Obviously, a big three-pointer by Tez, and then at the same time we had a big rebound at the end of the ball game against that D'Angelo got, and then he made the 2 free throws. So, overall, again, it was a good effort by everybody, and it was a good way to send D'Angelo out with a win.
A good example of what you're talking about. I remember looking up that scoreboard 4 or 5 minutes into the second half. They were already in the 1-and-1. The Golden Eagles had only been fouled a couple of times, so they got a big advantage there by able to go to the foul line and shoot a 1-and-1 or eventually get two free throws.
Yeah, and again, that's what you're going to try to do. You're going to try to go to the, if you're down like that, you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to go down there and shoot quick and get blown out, or have a chance to maybe make some baskets. But what you do is you play the game of basketball. They attacked the basket. They got fouls. They got to the free throw line when the clock was stopped. They got to the, put points on the board, and then we were going down to the other end and waiting to the last 8 or 9 seconds and just trying to go make a play. And that's, you get completely out of the flow of your offense, and then you get a little nervous. And when a team's down 23 and they make a run at you, and then you're not in the bonus, you can't get easy baskets. And that's a place that we've struggled at this year is getting some easy baskets by going inside and, getting easy baskets like that. But, give our guys credit. Down the stretch, we had 2 or 3 guys step up, make some big plays, and therefore, we were able to get the win.
You mentioned Tyree Griffin. He's a warrior. He's a magician. He's all kinds of things out there. And a guy, though, that mostly, when the game's on the line, he wants that ball in his hands.
There's no question. And on the defensive end, he wanted to guard Boykins, and he's a competitor. And, as I told the team in the locker room, the thing that we needed to do is go out and just play as hard as we can play, compete. That's the way D'Angelo spent the last 2 years, and he was the only senior on the team, and let's send him out at least, win or lose, you didn't know what would happen, but at least we could go out and get every loose ball, and we did that. So hopefully that'll carry over to not just next week, but also next season.
Well, the Golden Eagles and the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech, 81st meeting in history between these two longtime rivals, dates all the way back to 1932. So let's go back to Reed Green Coliseum, watch the Golden Eagle victory over Louisiana Tech. They spot him up on the right side. He drives and spins inside. Fall away jumper. Good by Cortez. Got a man in the air. Out front drain. 3-ball by LD. Bingo! Drain will drain another one. He's got 6. Here's Griffin to drive down the lane. Hands it off to Edwards. Reverse layup. Good! What an assist from Griffin. And an easy layup for Edwards. Cut off, spins, drives under the bucket, lays it up and in. What a move. That's a big-time move by Dominic McGee. Griff driving. Griffin inside to Edwards, puts it up and in. Looked like he got fouled, no call, but he hung in the air and laid it in. And Griffin falls down on top of the basketball and then gets it to Edwards. Edwards drives inside, got a layup. Tyree's a magician sometimes out there on the basketball court. Here's Dom on a move. Bounce pass down to Tim Rowe. Jump hook off the board. Good by Tim Rowe. Good quick move to the bucket by Tim. His second bucket. Drain, pull-up jumper, left side, won't go. Rebound underneath Edwards. Back up, put it in the rim, and on in there, went in for Edwards. Edwards got it and laid it in. He's got 15. Griffin wants to pull up. Now gives it a drain, a 3-ball straight away. Bingo! LD drains another one. And the Eagles go back up 15. 10 on the shot clock. Griffin fakes, drives inside, lays it up, and lays it in. Made a great move on Boykin to get to the bucket. There's Griffin. Griffin out front. Griff, guarded by Boykin. Driving, spinning, out to Edwards. A 3-ball straight away. Bingo! Edwards drills his first 3 of the night. 68-62. 27 seconds. Tech will call a timeout. And the Golden Eagles escape with a 72-64 win over the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. They snap an 8-game losing streak to Louisiana Tech. And the Eagles get a win.
You know, I've really enjoyed basketball season this year for both the men and the women. It really has evolved, and excited about the direction of both programs. And I know, you know, we always in athletics, we're in a unique business in that we keep score every day. So when you go to work as a banker or a real estate agent, a sales guy, you know, there might be a scoreboard in your head, but there's not a scoreboard that everybody gets to look at when they leave, and so they know whether you've won or lost. And on our basketball programs, I really look deeper than what the score is. I think we've made progress in both programs. Obviously, we've had injuries, scholarship attrition, all those things, but I do think we've got 2 really good basketball coaches. We got 2 people of high character that I'm really excited that are leading our programs. You know, our men's basketball program has really overcome several hurdles to get where they are. I do think that our record has improved significantly. We're still under scholarship reductions for another year. After next year, we'll be back to the full allotment of 13 scholarships. And so it's been tough for our basketball staff to recruit to those sanctions, but also get the players that are here to make sure that they buy into what they're trying to do from a coaching standpoint, but also from a positive outlook that, hey, we are growing as individuals, as players, and we really are headed in the right direction. You know, the landscape over the last year, I'm right at a 1-year anniversary for my employment here as the Director of Athletics. The landscape really hasn't changed a whole lot, other than I would say this: I really understand who we are a little better than when I got here. Obviously, relationships are important. It's really about the people. I've made better relationships with the people here. I understand our student athletes and our coaches and our needs, and that really has helped me in the decision-making process. So as I evaluate programs, I evaluate coaches, I evaluate our organization as a whole, I have a better understanding and grasp of exactly what that is and how I do that. I'm really excited about several additions to athletics that we've had over the past year. As it relates to Reed Green, you know, I'm really proud of the new video boards that we have in. I think those really add to the game day experience. It allows us to do some things that we haven't done in a while. And so from a marketing standpoint, that really helps. I also want to get the bowl of Reed Green painted here pretty quickly and update the graphics where it presents itself in a better manner, not only to recruits, that's important, but I want to do that for our fans as well. We've got a really good fan base, and I want to make sure that we've got a positive and bright, energetic look and feel for our facilities. Obviously, as it relates to the entire athletic department, we've got some new facilities coming online with our volleyball facility. We're going to renovate our M Club room in short order. And so constantly looking at how we can improve the athletic experience here at Southern Miss. The membership with Conference USA is a positive relationship. You know, we benefit from the Conference USA exposure and the exposure of the schools that we're affiliated with. So when schools in our league do well, no matter what the sport, that is a positive reflection on Southern Miss and our institution at large. We want to make sure that we continue to be competitive in Conference USA. I really do want to be upper third of the league with all our teams, not just one or two. I believe in comprehensive excellence and what that means. So really important for us to be in the upper tier of Conference USA and look to be competitive throughout all our sports programs. This week, Conference USA is taking their basketball tournament to the Star in Frisco, Texas. It's the practice facility of the Dallas Cowboys. It's essentially an indoor 10 to 12,000 seat football field. We're going to play 2 games at once, so we'll have 2 basketball courts on the floor. It is a very unique setting. I'm not sure that any other league has done this before. So I do think it is a very positive step forward for Conference USA for both the men's and women's basketball tournament. Will be a really unique setting. You can sit in one venue and watch 2 games. There'll be a lot of distractions, but I also know, having attended multiple AAU basketball tournaments, they go into facilities where they play 10 games at once, and I've never seen a kid get distracted by another court. So I'm interested to see it. I think it's a great marketing initiative for Conference USA and look forward to seeing how this plays out.
And welcome back, everybody, to Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler. Time now to take a little closer look inside the Golden Eagle basketball program. And one of our features this week is on Golden Eagle assistant coach Steve Shields, who's brand new to the staff. Doc, he's a guy you brought on, I guess, maybe back in the spring, back in the summer, and he has immediately made a big impact on this basketball team.
Well, there's no question about it. You know, Steve and I go way back to when I first got started at this level as an assistant coach at Texas Tech, and he was an assistant coach at McLennan Junior College, and then went on to be a head coach there, took teams to the national tournament, and then got a big break and became the head coach at Arkansas Little Rock, and probably did as good a job as anyone's ever done there. And you know, I think over maybe 12 or 13 years, he won the league 7 or 8 times. So you know, he's a guy that is, besides being a special friend, he's a guy that, you know, I rely a lot on just because he's been there. And anytime you got somebody that's been there at this level that you can shoot questions to, and he understands the pressures and the things that you're going through, then that's a bonus for everybody. But he and his wife, Kenda, are special friends, but more importantly, he does a great job.
Yeah, he's done a great job, no question about it. He's brought a lot to this Golden Eagle basketball program. Let's take a few minutes and meet up close and personal Golden Eagle assistant coach Steve Shields.
I've known Doc for a long time. He's been a good friend of mine for 25 years or more. I got to know him when he was an assistant at Texas Tech, and I was an assistant at McLennan Community College in the early 90s. And I went from there throughout the junior college ranks, went to Pensacola Junior College, Kilgore Junior College, and then back to McLennan as head coach before going to Arkansas Little Rock as an assistant for 3 years. And then I was a head coach there for 12 years, and then went to Missouri for 2, and then here with Doc. I did play golf in college my last 3 years at Baylor for my dad. He was a golf coach there for over 20 years, and he wanted me to come there out of high school, but I was hard-headed and didn't want to do it. I went to a small high school where we played football, basketball, and baseball. Didn't have a golf team. Played golf in the summers, and of course I had played since a young age, growing up in a family where golf was what my dad did for a living. But my dad was a big sports fan. I mean, he loved football, basketball, baseball, and I was kind of hard-headed coming out of high school. I went to Oklahoma City University, where Coach Abe Lemons was back as a head coach after he had left the University of Texas. We were in a Midwestern City Conference at the time with Xavier, Evansville, St. Louis, Detroit, Loyola, a very good league. And Coach had some guys like myself who weren't quite good enough. And so he sent me and my roommate back to junior college, played for a year before I switched over and went to Baylor to play golf for my dad. I think the biggest thing that I like about recruiting is you meet people. And I'm a people person, as Doc is, and just the different aspects of finding out more about the different situations. There's no recruiting situation identical to the next one, and you're always going to have something different in each situation that makes it unique. And just being able to meet different people in different parts of the country, being a people person, that's the thing that I like best about it, and getting to know people. I think this basketball team has shown great growth. I go back to the Bahamas trip, and going down there, that was my first experience with this team, coming here in late July. I think our value of the basketball has been exceptional this year. I think you've seen that keep us in a lot of games. We have had some deficiencies from a size standpoint due to our scholarship limitations, and that's something that, you know, maybe a lot of people don't realize from the hand that Doc was dealt here, and how he's handled it in such a positive way to get to 13 wins at this point, to continue to have great value of the basketball. Obviously, there's some nights where we wish we rebounded the ball better, but I think the growth on one hand, aside from having great value of the ball, has been our ball movement from start to finish. I think that's something that Coach has harped on from day one, and I think you've really seen a good development in the number of assists that we have per game. The thing I've enjoyed most about Southern Miss is the people, and I talk about the people on staff. When you go down and look at Clarence Weatherspoon, Marcus Townsend, Omar Thomas, Jake Stoffers, Tyler Shaw. I mean, we've got great people here that Doc's put together to form this staff. And then you talk about the people in the community, and I think the Southern people are genuine people. They're real people that embrace this program and want to be a part of something great.
And we're back, Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler. On to the Conference USA tournament now for the Golden Eagles at the Star in Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas, Texas. Should be an exciting event. Both the men's and the women's teams will be there competing. And Doc, that's kind of a unique setup. There'll be 2 games going on at the same time. I'm not sure that's ever been done before in a conference tournament, so a lot of new things there, but should be a lot of fun. Eagles are back in the conference tournament, and that's the important thing.
No question about it. You know, the first 2 years I was here, we weren't allowed to go to it, and the last 2 years we've qualified, so you got to give our guys a lot of credit. And you know, it's like you mentioned, it's going to be in a situation or a place that who knows what it's going to be like. And you know, until we get down there and see how they've got it set up, and you got 2 games going on at one time, it should be a good event for fans to be able to see a lot of basketball. But at the same time, you're in a situation that you know, we're looking forward to going. John, you know, we won the game Saturday night. We're going to go down there with some momentum, see what happens. And you know, as I told the team after the game, we're going to be in a situation where next Saturday somebody in the country is going to be sitting there who nobody thought had a chance to win the tournament and is going to win a conference tournament and go to the NCAA tournament. So why shouldn't it be us? Again, got to go down there, play each possession as it's the last possession of the year. No matter if you're down, you're up, whatever, just keep plugging away, because over a 4-day period, you're going to have some good basketball, you're going to have some bad basketball. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that you win. So we'll see what happens.
We're going to talk more about the tournament in a minute, but Doc, talk real quick about how you've seen this program improve. I mean, you've added more conference wins this year in probably a tougher Conference USA this year, more overall wins. You can see, if you're around the program all the time, how this program has really taken some really good leaps and strides to kind of get back to where everybody wants it to be.
Well, I think so. And obviously, you know, as a coach, you never win as much as you want to win. But, you know, you look at the season in 3 parts, and 2 of them over now in the preseason. I thought even against Michigan and Mississippi State, you go on the road and you have a chance to win those ball games. The only game that I really have been disappointed in all year was the South Alabama game. But other than that, you know, in the preseason, you're in every game and have a chance to win every game, besides the Florida State game and the South Alabama game. Then you get into the league play, and you know, we started out league again on 4 really tough ball games, but you split it and you're 2-2, and we had a win streak of 9 home games. But it's a team that you know, still is young. We have everybody back, and so you're just trying to learn and do the things, and that's going to help you this season, but also maybe down the road also. And for what these kids have been up against, I couldn't be more proud. Like you said, we finished with 7 wins this year in the conference, and in a balanced league that was much more balanced than any league that I've been in since I've been in Conference USA. So looking forward to you know, the 3rd part now, and that's going to determine if you have a good year or a great year. So now we're fixing to be in that 3rd part, but overall I couldn't be more happy with where we're at right now.
Real quick, D'Angelo Richardson, you mentioned him earlier, the young man, the senior out of Vicksburg who went to Holmes Community College and basically was a walk-on, non-scholarship guy who is what I always call, he's a Southern Miss guy. He loves to play the game, loves to take care of his business on the court and off the court, and he's been a great part of this Golden Eagle program in the last couple of years. And years from now, people look back and say, hey, there's a guy who had a part with getting it back to where it needed to be.
Well, there's no question about it. You know, when D'Angelo came in a couple years ago with Coach Flanagan from Holmes, and, you know, I explained to him that we had no scholarships, and that if he wanted to be a part of this and get a great education from a great university that's going to benefit him for the rest of his life, and then participate, unfortunately, he have to pay his own way, that we'd love to have him. And he made that decision, had some other options, but he made that decision to come here. And, you know, when I look back on, you know, all the players that's ever played for me, he's definitely going to be one of those guys that, you know, you just count on. And he's going to be there each and every day. And I couldn't be more pleased with what he has done for this program. And hopefully he's gotten some small thing out of it.
All right, the Golden Eagles against FIU in the opening round of the Conference USA basketball tournament on Wednesday night. That's a ball club that I think they beat the Golden Eagles 76-70, but it was a game that could have went in either way right down to the wire. So that should be an interesting matchup.
Well, again, I think Coach Anthony has done a terrific job down there. And as you mentioned, you know, the game went down to the wire, and the thing that we've got to do is defend better than we did when we played them down there. They've got a terrific point guard that we're going to have to keep out of the lane. He does a great job. They got a couple of guys that can shoot the basketball. So defensively, which all games are going to be in the tournament, that's the thing that you've got to understand, that once we get to this point, every game is going to be, it's not going to be an offensive game. Sure, you're going to score some points, but if you don't go down there and play defense with every possession, then you're going to struggle. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, Coach Evans has done a terrific job of getting his team back into the tournament, and they've won some big ball games here lately. So, you know, it's going to be a good matchup for us, and hopefully we'll be ready.
All right, Doc, we've enjoyed our visits with you each week throughout the year, so thanks for giving us your time. Continue to do a great job like you're doing, and it'll be fun to go to the tournament. Looking forward to seeing you out there.
Hey, thanks, John.
All right, the Golden Eagles in the Conference USA tournament. That's coming up on Wednesday night out at the Star in Frisco, Texas. Thanks, everybody, for being with us throughout the entire basketball season. We'll see you next year with another inside look into Golden Eagle basketball.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, you got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Been thinking about it since I was a kid.
Mom would be so proud.
If I could do it for a living.
Using my mom's recipes to open up a cupcake shop.
For my daughter to go to vet school.
Singing karaoke in all 50 states.
Captaining my own shrimp boat.
Tell us what you dream about. With the right loan or savings plan, we can make it a reality, no matter how crazy.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keeping you within reach of what matters most. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
Hey Southern Miss fans, it's Toby Barker, Mayor of Hattiesburg. Mickey Spagnola once wrote, if you're going to war and you get to choose first, choose Southern Mississippi. Always choose Southern Mississippi. Don't fight Southern Mississippi, because no matter how hard you fight, those folks will fight harder. His words capture the character of our institution and our city. We here in Hattiesburg are writing a new story, one where we rise to our challenges with great excitement, one where we push our city to reach its potential, and most importantly, one where there's real partnership between the University of Southern Mississippi and the city of Hattiesburg. Southern Miss is vital to our city's success, from the quality of life it provides through athletics and the arts to the talent it cultivates in the classroom. We share a common destiny. Hattiesburg is proud to be Mississippi's college city, and we hope as we go forward you'll join us in supporting our Golden Eagles this season as they go to the top.